So we have Nightbreed and Weird from Salacious Gods with us. Thanks for joining us on Nightbreed.
Sure, no
Thanks
problem.
for having us.
So you guys have a new album which has been a long time coming, but if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind going back to the 90s to start us off.
Yeah, the 90s. What do you mean? How the band started or what?
Yeah, so what was going on in the Netherlands in 94 that sort of sparked Salacious Gods to begin?
Well, I think we all grew up, all band members grew up, listening to the stuff in the 80s, and then thrash metal, death metal came along, and we kind of got bored by the thrash metal bands like Nuclear Assault and stuff, which were kind of called extreme back then, but actually they completely weren't. um, because they had really boring lyrics about social problems and all that stuff. And all we wanted to do is have a black metal band, which is satanic and occult, because we were influenced big time by Morbid Angel and Samael and all those type of bands. And also musically, at the time in the early 90s, death metal kind of got boring, and we were looking for more sinister sounding bands like previously mentioned Samael and Tiamat, and the first album of Cemetery, and all those bands who had a little bit more of a raw and dark edge, and that's what we liked, and so we pursued to do the same thing actually. And that's how we grew into it. And in the early 90s, also bands like Immortal came along with Pure Holocaust and all that stuff. And so we like to combine the atmosphere of those bands, but also the brutalness of the faster black metal bands like Marduk and Immortal and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's how that came along. And it was really hard to find musicians because not a lot of people were into black metal at the time, and so it took a while to have the right musicians to start a band. And none of us really had a musical background, so we had to learn to play the instruments all by ourselves. So, and it took a while, and therefore it took a while for us to develop and get a first demo out and the first album. So that's how it went along.
Yeah, cool. What were there many black metal shows back then in the early days of Salacious Gods?
Not in the beginning. Before we had a demo out, we maybe we had like 10 or 15 shows, and there weren't a lot of known bands like Immortal and stuff that came off to do the gigs. But after a while, it picked up also because of popular bands like Cradle of Filth and Demon Borgir. Then the genre got a little bit more popular, more shows going on, and then we got a record deal, and then we did more shows and we did some tours through Europe and stuff, and then things started to happen for us. But after a while, we kind of slowed down because of all kinds of trouble that happened, and then we no well we had a hiatus for a long time.
Yeah, so you guys, you put out As Kangaroo 99 and you got a couple albums after that. And then 2006, you were writing for a fourth album, yeah?
Yeah,
So what happened? A lot of things by the sound of it.
yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah, few. Well, first of all, we had an album already written, but it was more of the same like the previous album, like Pina, the previous album. And we really wanted to have a different structure musically. And well, the rest of the guys demanded actually that I wrote the music at the time, and they demanded that I turn in ready MP3s with complete ready songs. So that meant that I had to make a studio, build a studio, and record all this stuff. And that took a while, and then some members quit, and we lost rehearsal rooms, and some people got injured and personal stuff, and we lost recordings and all kinds of crap happened. So that's why it took a while for this album to complete.
Mm. Yeah, the Fire and Brimstone studio. Yeah. Do you record other bands in there, or is it solely for Salacious Gods?
No, we recorded some other bands in there, not a lot, but death metal and some thrash metal bands. Um, yeah, so it's not exclusively for Salacious Gods.
Mm. Yeah, cool. And so, are you guys able to rehearse in there and that kind of thing, or have you got another space for that?
No, we have another space because in the studio it's not suitable for rehearsings. Um, so we and the studio is actually located, let's say, at the brim of our area. It's not not very central. So our
Mm.
rehearsal room is in the center of where we live, and for all of us, it's about an hour drive. So the difference is kind of big. That's why we have a different rehearsal room instead of the studio.
Mm. Yeah, cool. And then 2020, it's the current lineup kind of gets together again, yeah, with Salacious Gods. How'd you go? How did those phone calls go? Was everyone keen to kind of jump on board again?
Now, well, as you probably know, the Netherlands is not a big country, and we all know each other by each other. And we had to ask, do you know a good vocalist? Do you know a good guitar player? And that's how we asked around, and that's how we got to know each other.
Mm,
And Neil Brothers is in the band much longer than 2020,
mm.
but vocalist is indeed quite short with us.
Yeah, okay.
I joined the band in, I think, 2011, originally as a bass player. And later on, the current bass player and I switched. He played guitar first, and I played bass. And now he plays bass, I play guitar.
Oh, okay. How did that
Yeah.
decision come about? Like, how come you guys switched?
But he prefers to play bass. I prefer to play guitar. So that was quite an easy decision.
Yeah, cool. Oh, nice. So this new album, Olive Luck, am I saying that right?
Not really, all of Luke.
Okay. Olive Luke. Right, gotcha. Okay. So it's out October this year. Recording this one must have been different to say, the 90s recordings, that kind of thing.
Well, not really. We used the
Okay.
same techniques as in the 90s and stuff. But because we did it ourselves, we had complete control over it. And it was a little bit trial and error because we already recorded the All of Luke songs with some other producer, but that wasn't going really well.
Okay.
Like I said, he lost some recordings and stuff, and that's why we wanted to do it ourselves. So we bought microphones and equipment and the soundboard and all that stuff, and then we recorded in our own room. But it's the classical way of recording. We separated the drums, separated recording the guitars and all that stuff. So there is nothing really new about that, except for using software instead of doing the analog thing completely.
Mm.
But other than that, it's just the same as other process.
And it's been mastered by Tor Stjerner, who's worked with Watain and other great bands. How was that experience? Like, what sort of notes were you giving him, you know?
Well, that was really easy actually. We were looking for someone to do the mastering because we did the mastering ourselves as well. But in hindsight, we learned this from Tor that the mastering volume for us was much too loud. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
we turned it into Tora, and he gave us this tip. And actually, we turned in the mix, and well, the mastering kind of sounds the same as the mix, only louder than the mix, and with some little IQ and some special sauces over the mix. But other than that, we're really satisfied with the result.
Mm, cool. And I noticed you got the lyrics in English and Drents as well, the local dialect. Is Drents spoken much in the Netherlands?
No, not really. It's only spoken in the province we're from, and not everybody in this province speaks Drents. Only the elderly people, and well, as we call it, the people who are pulled out of the pit. I don't know if that does make sense, maybe, but the 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 I'm looking for the English words for it. The original Drents people, you know.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Drenthe is a part of Holland. Holland is a very crowded place, but Drenthe is one of the most more remote places. It's always been regarded as a kind of wasteland. I think that's the right word. So that there was a lot of moors and forests and
Peat bogs.
rough spaces for people to live in. And the people who lived there were always kind of regarded as peasants or whatever, simple farmers. And but it's actually a part of the Netherlands that has a very strong own identity and its own kind of culture, own language, own traditions, own history, myths, legends. So it has a strong individuality in a way.
Yeah. Do you think that's because it's like isolated, I guess, like further away from the other kind of towns?
For Dutch standards, it's very isolated. Yeah.
Yes, and if you look at the history, it hasn't been too long ago that the people who lived there were actually kind of treated like near Brussels, like peasants. They had to work like 16 hours a day, and they lived in little peat huts and stuff. So it's a rough history. You know the painter Vincent van Gogh?
Yeah,
he lived there for a while, and it was his most depressing time for him in his art. So.
Oh, talking art, the painted cover art for the new album looks incredible. How did that come together? What sort of input did you have for the idea for the artwork?
Well, we had already artwork. The cover artwork was already done. Only we had problems with that the old artwork because it was the resolution was not right. So we had in a couple of months we had to come up with something else, and so we just used the internet to find a good artist, and we stumbled upon this guy, and we gave him the ideas and the lyrics and concept of the album, and he came up with this actually quite on his own. So I think that is remarkably well found. And well, it was he turned it in, and it was almost completely spot on. It was right away. It was great. So we're very happy with the artwork. Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've been using this logo for a while, but on your releases, you got a new logo compared to the previous ones. Is it a new logo, or is this something you guys have been using live before now?
Well, the new logo came about actually shortly after the previous release, and shortly before when we shut down, kind of for a while. We had the intention of using this logo from then on, but since all kind of stuff happened, we didn't came to it to use it a lot. But now, from now on, this will be the new logo.
Yeah, no, looks good. And the video for Morbid Revelations in Blood and Semen, where was that shot? Is that near where you guys live?
Yes, exactly. Like Nightbreed also already mentioned, it's in our province, and we got a lot of forests and stuff. And it's partly recorded next to Nightbreed's home because he lives completely, in the forest in a cabin. And it was a completely great spot to record. So it's kind of different shots or different locations put together, but the main place was Nightbreed's home.
Yes.
And did the band sort of have something in mind before before someone came and filmed this thing? Like, you know, something you wanted to capture, a visual thing?
There's basically a little bit of some sort of summoning up the demons. And in this video, it's us as the demons. We're like the Salacious Gods are coming back to strike again, in a way.
Yes, and it's in a way it's actually revealing a little tip of the veil from you know, our personal things and views that we have. But it was really difficult to portray this because we didn't use any money on it. It was a really cheap production, and we wanted to portray actually the feeling that of impending doom because of the revelations that are mentioned in the lyrics. That something bad is coming, something, you know, that the doom is coming. Simply put.
Away from Salacious Gods for a little bit. What are you listening to lately? What kind of bands?
A lot of things. It goes from what I started out with is I think as a child I listened to a lot of blues rock, and from there on I discovered Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and from then on I went straight into death metal, thrash metal, and later on black metal, and from there on filling back the gap of heavy metal, speed metal, you know, all the different kinds of metal, and but also a lot of music has a strong atmosphere, folk music, classical music, whatever that has a very strong atmosphere that appeals me, that kind of reflects with me from within, is important. So it can go from anything to nothing and back again, as long as there's a strong atmosphere in it. I think that's the most important thing in music in general, whether it's metal or beyond metal. The atmosphere is also is always important. There's to be a deep and a kind of dark atmosphere always. Yes.
Yes, I totally agree. Personally, I listen to meditation music quite a bit, and one of our other members, Sverk, he has different projects like dark dungeon music. So he has a gig coming up in Norway, in Trondheim, with his dark dungeon music soon. So, you know, that's also very important to us. You know, so the keyboards that were there on the first albums, well, they never left our mind. We don't use them anymore, but maybe on future recordings we will, but we don't know that yet. But the keyboards are always important for our musical taste as well. For, like Nightbreed said, for the darker atmosphere.
Cool. Actually, talking about, you know, possible future releases, that kind of thing. How's it feel like to have the band back again? Like, do you kind of feel like, yep, this is the start, and we're gonna kind of keep going? You know?
Yes, that's actually a great feeling. You know, the All of Luke album I wrote almost completely by myself, and that's something I hope that will not happen again in the future. I hope that I can write music together with Nightbreed and the other members, and I'm really looking forward to see what's going up. You know, the material of All of Luke is kind of old-fashioned. You know, it's really the 90s black metal and stuff. That's the music that we like. We never wanted to be original or something, but for future recordings, songwriting, well, we don't know exactly yet what's coming up, but we like to, you know, we'd like to know if we can cross our own borders to get some new stuff going on, or maybe being creative with samples or anything. Not that we're going to be industrial or anything like that. Nothing out of the let's say boundaries of traditional black metal, but we want to see what we can do and come up with. Yes.
It was a long time that I think all the different members didn't know if there was ever going to happen anything again for a while because of all the setbacks and things that happened. But now the album is coming out, and now all the members are looking forward to bring the music and to be creative again, to come up with new things. We are all really looking forward to come up with new things again.
Yeah. And so yeah, we were saying earlier, you guys are going to be playing your first shows since 2012, yeah? Like so do you have shows lined up for the release of the album? Yeah.
Yes, we have 2 shows coming up very shortly. And we have a show in summertime. It's on a festival, which is kind of a relatively big festival. And then we have been asked for some other shows, but those are not confirmed yet. So we are at the moment rehearsing for those upcoming gigs. And actually, it really sounds great to play together, and it sounds really good actually, and that also gives a really aggressive vibe for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool, awesome. And obviously you have the video. Are there plans for another video or anything off this album?
Not for this album. There is another single. The second single is Bloedkloete. There's no video clip for that, but it's no, I don't know, it's a still video, I don't know how to call it, but so it's a really simple video, but we had a big hassle getting the Morbid Revelations video together, because we had different kind of images, and it was really difficult to get it together to make it one whole thing. So I've been thinking about doing an EP or something. Maybe then we'll have another video clip.
Oh, cool. Yeah, awesome. That's good to hear. Well, look, I've listened to the album. It's great, and yeah, the links are below for everyone watching. Definitely check this stuff out if you like your 90s black metal. It's fantastic. Look, Salacious Gods, thanks heaps for your time. It's good to see you guys back together, and I'm keen to hear what comes next. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Cheers.